Hi everyone, in this next lesson we're going to be talking about Eldon Shamblin bass note fills. We'll be first talking about how to do quarter note fills and then eighth note fills. We're going to be using the tune San Antonio Rose for this one. If we're starting on the D chord here, I'm moving to the 4 chord, the G. Now, what I want to do is give myself time to set up a 2-note bass note fill. This is the typical fill that Eldon would employ, and he would always put it right when the changes switch. So what I mean by that is this. You have 2 bars of D, right? 2 bars of D would mean you have 8 beats. So the first 4 beats, you're just playing D. The second 4 beats, you're going to be playing D on the first 2, and then on the 3rd and 4th beat, that's when you're going to be dropping in that bass note fill. So to give you an example, it would sound like this. I would go. So with me counting that out, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay? So what I'm doing here is just walking up or down to set up my D7 chord. And then I'm just playing down the scale some more, or the pool of notes. I'm going D, A, G, right? 6, 5, and then resolving to the 1 chord. So it just leads me in just like that. So I've got into it. And I don't always have to do it like that. I could go there. I did D, C sharp, B, C, A, G, right? I'm just looking for those 2 beats to get me to my destination. And that's a really important thing to know. It's not always about how you start it, but how you land it, which can help in rhythm playing as well as lead playing. As long as you know where you're going, you can sometimes make mistakes, but if you land them, it'll sound all okay. So always have a vision of where you're going in this, okay? If we want to now talk about G to the E, G chord would be like this. Here's our E with a 3rd. I'm just going to go back 1 because I need 2 beats and go F sharp, G, G sharp. Okay. Or I could go G, A, G sharp. So below, above, resolve. So I can go. Above. Okay. Now, if we want to make that into eighth notes, we're just going to add in some more filler. So instead of going 3, 4, we're going to go 3 and 4 and. So we just need 2 more notes to add in. Again, we're thinking the destination in mind here. So if I'm playing I landed 3 and 4 and into the G. So I had to go below to get the timing right. But I could have doubled up on a note. That would have been fine. I could go 3 and 4 and 1. Good, you know. Like so. I could have started from the C. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1. So C, B, A flat, G, 1, right? And 2 and. So those 4 eighth notes, right? When I get to the E, the one I like to do is set the E up by starting on the 5th of the 4 chord. So that's the G chord, the 5th is the D. I'm just going to come down the scale. So I'm going to go D, C, B, A, G sharp. So 3 and 4 and 1, and I'm right on the money, okay? So I could sound like this now. Right? Another time. Now, I did that purposely, but typically whenever you're hearing his playing and when you want to do it your own, don't try and do back-to-back eighth note or quarter note runs. Vary it, switch between the two, almost kind of like it's a call and response. And the phrasing comes out much nicer. So you get something like this. Right, so choose quarter notes on one, eighths on the other. Eighths on the first, quarters on the other. And this is a great way to not only nail this style and learn it, but also just knowing the notes within your chords and knowing the notes within the key, okay? That's going to really solidify that for you, especially on the lower strings. A lot of the time we're really good on the higher strings, but the lower strings we kind of get a little muddy on. So doing this will reinforce already what we've been learning in that we're working out of these basic chord grips. We are moving down the bass notes in these basic chord grips. And now we're just simply omitting the rest of the chord and playing little fills with those bass notes. So you're getting multiple passes at the same stuff, we're just using them in different ways. And that's really the genius of his playing and many great players, is that they do the same things all the time. They just employ them slightly differently, and that makes them very fresh and fun to listen to. So try that on the D to G and then the G to E chord in your own playing, and we'll further expand that as we learn this tune together.